أيها الإخوة, as all of you know that we have a topic today to address, and that is a crisis of our time. And the crisis being that there is a lack of scholars and the interest for knowledge and the lack of students of knowledge in our modern society. I'm mostly addressing this lecture for the people of the Indian subcontinent. For those in the West, there is a rise of Islamic scholarship, mashallah, tabarak rahman. But having said so, on the West there is a rise. We can see a very drastic fall of Islamic knowledge, or the interest in Islamic knowledge being taken by the youths is in a decline in the Indian subcontinent, in the East. Not the Southeast, but the East, especially the Indian subcontinent belt. And the crisis being, and I've noted down some. Number one, there is a moral decline. There is a decline in morality. So because the education system is made as such that they address only materialism. So your whole institution in which you study, or the place where you work in an MNC, multinational companies, they only do with money. Everything is to do with money. Everything to do is with materialism. So there is tanazzul al-arwah. There is a decline in moral values right from the childhood. So even if the child is growing up and starts to do immoral things, he or she will be reprimanded by the parents, but not on a level on which the Sahaba or the Tabi'een or the righteous people of the Ummah used to do in the past. And this is a very big crisis. And everything is to do with materialism. Number two, there is a confusion in values. So the value of the East, the value of the West is in collision. For example, many a times we see the Indian people, they have a set of values which we value a lot, the family system. But in the West we see it is not taken as a value. Family is broken. It's a dysfunctional family. The father marries a woman, has children, gets divorced, and starts having another child from another woman, unmarried. So he has a mistress. And that value is not looked down upon. Whereas those values are looked down upon by the East, by us, and as well as the Arabs, as well as the Islamic world. So there is a collision and a confusion in values. So a child living in the East values the West and becomes an amalgamation of a confused individual, a confused values. Number three, there is an identity crisis amongst the Muslim youths. So the Muslim youths needs to be reminded that you are Muslim. Needs to be reminded by who? By the ulama in the masajid. Why? Because the parents do not install, on most cases. Sometimes the mother and the father, they push a lot of the Islamic values. But you see, when they go to the schools, which is an atheistic institution, where morality is not taken into consideration, they stoop down, and that's the reason we have a morality decline and the confusion in values, which I've talked. So there is an identity crisis. So the child might be saying that I'm a Muslim, but he doesn't understand Islam. You see, he says I don't understand Islam, or he says, or he doesn't have any interest. This study doesn't give me bread to eat, doesn't give me a car, it doesn't give me a house, it doesn't give me a wife, and I would focus more on my secular studies. So that's the reason we have an identity crisis. He might be coming to some Jum'ah, might be coming for Eid, he might be putting on a good kurta, a salwar kameez, now a jubba or thawb. So on that level he is a Muslim, but based on values, no, he's a confused individual.